Hello and welcome to today's video. Today we are going to look at how to recharge the air conditioning system on a car. We're going to keep it short and sweet. I must apologise for some of the shoddy quality camera work in this video. I've been having technical issues, but hopefully we can see past that. To do this job, I've bought the following off the internet. This is a leak stopping compound. This here is a R134 alpha equivalent air conditioning gas replacement cylinder, and we also have a charging hose which you bought from eBay. Total cost of this equipment should be around 50 to 60 euros. If you go to a garage to get this job done, they will probably take a couple of €100 off you and send you straight to hell. We do not need arty-farty products for this. This is all we need. And safety glasses. We're also going to need a vehicle with air conditioning, so that will do nicely. Now I'm going to keep this video fairly short and sweet. I'm not going to go into the technical stuff about how the refrigerant cycle works. I can make another video on that. It is fairly straightforward. I will, however, say that the reason for doing this in the first place is if your air conditioning system isn't working. My car is 14 years old, which means that over time the refrigerant has leaked out into the environment. The air conditioning is still running cold, but not as cold as it should, and it needs a top up. I'm also not going to go massively in depth about the environmental consequences of recharging an air conditioning system. R13 alpha is a okay gas from a ozone layer point of view. However, it is a terrible greenhouse gas, and in more modern cars it's been phased out, so you will need to check which gas your car needs. For the majority of vehicles, however, it is going to be R134 alpha or R134 alpha equivalent. The first thing you're going to want to do is get in your car, take your car keys and start your car up. Once your car's running nicely, as it is now, you are going to want to go to your air conditioning panel. Switch on the air conditioning and turn the temperature down as low as it will go. Now, if you have climate control like I do instead of air conditioning, you can leave the fans in auto. However, if you have normal air conditioning instead of climate control, you'll want to turn your fan up to max. Here I'm leaving mine in auto. Now simply leave the car running with the air conditioning on for about 10 minutes. Next, we want to open the bonnet or hood for our colonialist brethren. On my car, the bonnet toggle is under the dashboard. We give that a pull and the bonnet will unlatch. We then simply open the second latch on the bonnet, open it and prop it up with the stick. At this point the engine's running. Now all cars are slightly different, but they'll all have an air conditioning pump driven by a belt. That doesn't really matter too much. What we need is the air conditioning pipework. It's going to be silver and aluminium and should be easy to spot. It'll always be at the top. Here is a high pressure port, here is a low pressure port. There's also a liquid indicator here, which is frothing, indicating that we need a little bit more gas in the system. If you're unsure if you've got the right pipes, feel them. One will be hot and the other one will be cold, and they'll be silver. Do not leave parts on top of a running engine. Next, we attach our leak stopping can to the charging hose. We screw it all the way in and then we turn the valve all the way. In turning the valve, you actually pierce the can, so whilst the needle in the valve pierces the can, there'll be a slight discharge of gas, but that will stop once you've turned the valve all the way. Unscrew the plastic cap marked L from the low pressure suction pipe on your air conditioning and place it in a safe place. Make sure you don't allow any dirt to enter the system while you're doing this. Push the connector onto the low pressure side and make sure it's firmly fixed. Then take your can and invert it so that it is in the upside down position. The leak stopping compound is mainly oil, so it will pretty much empty itself into the air conditioning system without offering the pressure that much. When we do exactly the same job in exactly the same way with the refrigerant, we need to pay attention to the pressure on the low pressure side. For our ambient temperature today, we want a pressure of around 25 to 35 psi. Note that overcharging the system can be as bad as undercharging it because the system simply won't operate. And because we are civilized people, we can't simply discharge the excess refrigerant gas into the atmosphere because it is illegal in most countries, including Scotland. So take great care not to overcharge the system, and if in doubt, leave it undercharged. Now we repeat the process for the R134 Alpha. Remember to open the needle valve fully before screwing in the gas canister. Then repeat the exact same process, the only difference being that you're going to monitor the pressure because the pressure will rise during this activity. Therefore, do not overcharge the system. Now you should have a working refrigerant system again, operating on the refrigerant cycle as shown on this diagram. It's also important to leave the hose connected to the refrigerant cylinder because if you disconnect the hose, the refrigerant will leak out into the atmosphere. So do not disconnect the hose from the refrigerant cylinder, leave it connected until you need it again, which hopefully will be a very long time. Finally, take your car out for a spin and enjoy the now working air conditioning that is blowing nice cold air over you. Thank you for watching and join me next time.